Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tyranny, Bastard's Wound. In the last episode we were exploring the settlement and talking to the locals, most notably their two leaders, Jaspos, the Forge-Bound and Master of Knapping, and then Tidecaster Wagstaff. They are both very important figures because they both can cleanse the magically corrupt water here, although I think Wagstaff does it a bit better, or at least he claims so. But Jaspos is also very important because he and his apprentices do construction work, like these bridges here over here, for example, and they also repair they also repair and make new armor and other sort of equipment. So they are also very important people here. And in the last episode, after I talked to those two, I decided not to do anything to the settlement. I decided not to chase the people out of the Bastard's Wound, despite the fact that it is basically illegal, but technically may not be in this case, because we are not inside the old walls on the surface, but we are under the old walls, and plus the daylight comes down here. Well, actually, no, actually, never mind. The daylight is not coming down here, or at least it certainly doesn't look like it. But there is a big hole on the ceiling, so these guys can look up and see the sky. So technically, they are not really inside the old walls anymore, because it's in ruins basically. But yeah, so without further ado, let's continue with the rest of the game here. And now I have brought Lantry to our team. Not because we necessarily need him to our team, although he is very important and useful, but because we need him to talk to Mell, who is also from the School of Ink and Quill, and Mell should know more about this mysterious Sage Mell, who we got the missive from, and the missive who led us here to the Bastard's Wound in the first place. So let's talk to Mell. Fatebinder, you have returned. Indeed, I have. Sage Lantry, what are you doing here? A long story, my young friend. The synopsis is that I am working for the Fatebinder now, and just what brings you to this, of all places? Lexeme, of course. I would follow her anywhere, or so I thought. She has descended deep into the old walls, farther than our patrols dare to venture. Apologies she can't be here to greet you. Lexeme? She's alive? So she survived the Eating of Fire. Lantry's eyes widen with surprise, and you hear the clinking of vials as his entire body trembles. Friend of yours? Sage Lexeme and I go way back. She joined the school a year before I did, so we more or less ran the paces together. If she's alive, why didn't she try to find me? Did you try to contact all the other sages you thought were alive? Remained silent. Were you two rivals or friends? Yeah, were you rivals or friends? Both. We were chroniclers, so there was competition of sorts, but I think I'm allowed to say we got along well enough. Not that many of my friendships survived my politics. I was in favor of surrendering the school to Kairos, hardly a popular outlook. Did you try to contact all the other sages you thought were alive? Right. We tried not to cloud the skies with missive birds. That would just give the enemy something to follow. Like me, she probably tried to avoid detection, not light the signal fire. Fair enough. Last I know, she went into the depths of the old walls. To me, that's a death sentence, especially if she is no longer able to work her magic. I'm so sorry. I wish you had stumbled upon us sooner. Maybe you could have reconnected with her. Is she one of the sleepless ones? Her mind was dwindling, and I know she was fixated on making sure everything she carried out of the Vellum Citadel was hidden and safe. She and I hit one such catch over by the farm. The others are, I presume, deeper in the old walls. Lexeme knew an old sage trick that conceals the stashes, making them fade from view unless another chronicler stands near. So we have to bring Lantry near them in order to find them. When her magic began fading, she made a rush to conceal things, but aside from the one stash in the farm, only she knows where the rest lay. Ah, interesting. So we're about to go treasure hunting. That sounds like fun. Is there anything I can help you with? I don't see any new questions here now that we have Lantry with us. Let's see. Nothing new here. Okay, nothing new here. As you turn to leave, you see Lantry lost in thought, rubbing his cerulean ink between his fingers and thumb. Guess one of your old friends is here. What should we expect? Remain silent. So tell me more about this Lexeme person. Do tell us more about Lexeme, the mysterious Sage Mell. She's an old friend of mine, and by now you have already detected the understatement in my voice, so ask your questions. An old love interest, I presume? Clear silently. What do you make of her condition? So you two worked on the Chronicle together. What do you make of these Chronicle fragments she tasked us to find? So you two worked on the Chronicle together. We are but two members of a team spanning generations, but yes, we both contributed to the Chronicles. Long bouts of field work and longer stretches of authoring our findings suited our temperaments. My college's insisted original research was the way to make a name for myself, but the accounting of everything is a cause greater than us all. Lexeme saw the Chronicle as half record of things that were, and half record of how things ought to be. To her, each moment we record offers universal insight into how people will act in the future. I take the more modest stance that you can't stand in the same river twice, and the same general can't fight the same war twice, so history is of limited predictive power. Forgive me, you didn't ask for the nuances of our philosophical debates. What would you like to know? Well, were you lovers? Lantry lighted 3. You presume correctly. We were deeply intimate for the better part of 15 years. The school gave up long ago trying to make rules against fraternization, and, well, we took full advantage of living in the modern era of the school of ink and quill, when sages could do away with furtive copulation and the foolish attempt to curb the natural inclination of scholars to rot. It was her magic I loved most. She was gifted, truly gifted. She could achieve these little accents on her spells that none of us could replicate. At first I had nothing but envy and hate for her, but somewhere along the line it became adoration, and I just hoped to Kairos that if I rubbed up against her enough, maybe some of her talent would rub off onto me. No such luck. Well, that's a shame. You are a great healer, though. If we were so close, why didn't you flee the Citadel together? There was a time when we were inseparable. I learned much of my magic from her, and her from me. We are each other's mentor and student. It is a very special sort of bond. But it was a relationship that I followed through my own convictions. In the years before Kairos' conquest, I urged our school to surrender. And urge is an understatement. Rapidly advocated would be more apt description. Lexeme did not share my assessment of Kairos or my opinions on what must be done. I was in the dissenting minority, and most felt I was a traitor, Lexeme included. Well, that sounds rough. But I wasn't about to back off from my belief that surrender was the right idea. Considering what came to pass, I feel justified in my stance. While I normally adore being right about things, in this particular case, my domestic smugness maybe isn't worth the friendships it all cost me. So what do you make of her condition? From the sound of it, she was afflicted with sleeplessness. My thoughts exactly. And by all accounts, madness would naturally follow. But if she's down in the old walls and enfeebled, she would be easy prey for the bane. I assure you, whatever struck her, I won't let it happen to you. Oh yeah, indeed, because you are our healer. If you die, we are fucked. Heard of anything like this before? Do you think there's a way to save her? Well, have you heard of anything like this before? Well, there are all manner of magics that kill a person slowly. Where to begin? I'm more perplexed that she, and by the sound of it, others too, were first healed and then grew ill. And what do you make of these chronicle fragments she tasked us to find? My heart sinks every time I can safeguard a text against destruction. Still, there is something bothering me about these writings. Let's look around a bit more, shall we? Ask me again when I have a few pieces to compare. Well, okay, so let's do just that. Find the Pastor's Wound Farm Chronicle. Oh yeah. So first we're gonna go to the farms, and we get there by using this teleporter here. Okay, this should be the place. There's Tycho.
I wonder how many people had to die until they figured out which type of mushrooms were safe to eat.
That's a very interesting question indeed. Okay, so what do we have here? You don't mind if I take your fruit and meat here, do you? And then some water as well. Ocean's Fury. Well, she looks like an interesting beast woman. Assuming that it's a female. Claythos. I wonder if I should talk to these people. A scroll and bronze, I think. Water.
See that? We should take a closer look.
Ah, is it that? Oh. Stalwart bronze sword. One-handed exquisite. It seems to be worse than mine. Well, yeah, of course it is worse because Dauntless is a masterwork, legendary. But, I guess Verse could use this sword, or Barrick. Although I am giving Barrick two-handed weapons instead because I'm not using him as a tank. Well, let's give it to Kills in Shadow for now. Well, this look like interesting mushrooms. Little looks appealing about these rubbery dung-scented mushrooms, yet the settlers of the wound care for them as if they were the finest fruit. Okay. Maybe it's somewhere around here. Onto all this rubble. Nope. Yeah, but as you can see, the daylight does reach here. And hence why they can grow these vegetables and stuff. I wonder if you have to get to the other side over there. Actually, no, I don't think it's possible, because there's walls. Faint illumination from the sky above limns the jagged edges of the fractured old walls overhead. Far below, you can make out the flickering dots of torchlight marking the wound community. Let's actually talk to these people. Maybe one of these people have actually found the what are we looking for exactly? I think we're looking for some pages or something like that. So anyway, maybe one of these people have found some Lexeme's pages or whatever it was we are looking for again. Ocean's Fury. Oh, look at that, she looks cool. Smooth blue fur frames this massive beast woman's flat face, her blunt snot wrinkling as she sniffs at you. Her skin, in those spots where you can see it, glistens almost pearlescent. Her upper lip curls back to expose dagger-sharp teeth. Human smells of stone mystic power, of earth blood and soil strength, she snorts, yet looks small and frail like a hairless whelp. The beastwoman at your side rises to her full height, chest thirsts forward, and snarls at Ocean's Fury. Manta-born beastwoman knows not human who smells of Fatebinder. Alpha to Kills in Shadow, can't be forgiven for foolishness. Once. Fur bristling, Ocean's Fury clovers at Kills in Shadow. Shadowhunter calls human alpha. Then perhaps human strength smells true. Or Shadowhunter gone weak from time away from tribe. For what does human disturb Ocean's Fury's prowling vigil? I've seen a lot of different beastmen here. How many tribes call the wound home? Oh yeah, there has indeed been lots of different beast women here, like these ginger ones, for example. So yeah, how many tribes call the wound home? One and more than one, like human tribes, but grown stronger in difference. One and more than one. What's that mean? That there's more than one tribe? One tribe called Woundkin hunts prey in bastard's wound. All beastwomen answer to Woundkin name. All did look to Reef Talon as Prima, before Reef Talon left into the old walls. And in case I remember what Prima is, the leader of a beast tribe. Yup. What tribes did they belong to before they all became Woundkin? Not really interested in the details. What was that about the tribes' differences? Her eyes narrow slightly. Each tribe knows its hunting ground best. Mandaborn best swimmers. Small stone stalkers climb quickest. Shadow hunters blend with night and stalk with cunning. Simple. Stone stalkers, the largest spanning beast tribe in the entirety of the tiers. The stone stalkers of Azura nearly tripled in population during a period of domestication and forced labor in service to the farmers and ranchers of the realm. However, like all beasts, the stone stalkers were born wild and yearned to range free, unfettered by humans within their own homeland. In ancient times, the tribe was known as the Meadowkins, but they were denied a name during their centuries of enslavement. In the turmoil created by Kairos' invasion of the Tiers and conquest of Azura, the beasts rebelled and won their freedom. Drawn to the enigmatic presence of Cairn, Archon of Stone, the beasts took the name Stonestalker as their own. After Cairn's defeat, when Kairos proclaimed the Edict of Stone on Azura, creating the Stone Sea, the Stonestalkers retreated into the wilds. The humans who have since encroached on their territory have been slaughtered. Okie dokie. So what do you mean by your prowling vigil? Ocean's Fury prowls Wound Farm, hunts Bane with claws and fangs, drives away trespassers with growls and knuckles. She points out to the vast gulf to the north. Old walls split down center like lightning-forked stump. Bane slip across gulf. Ocean's Fury watches always. So basically guarding this place. Okay. And what tribes did they belong to before they all became Woundkin? Yeah, might as well ask. Ocean's Fury and Reef Talon are Mantaborn, first among tribes. She draws herself up proudly and thumps a closed paw against her chest. Mantaborn hunts sea as swift as sharks, range long coasts from stalwart to seed. Rule ocean where humans bring no war. West Reavers have fur like rust, range northern lands, highest tier. Not many days from Wound, towards sunset. Where humans fear threat, yep. She seems to consider the tribe. West Weavers, best hunters in grasslands, good hunters in mountains. She shuffles lightly. Poor hunters in sea salt. Stonestalkers small, but roam in large packs. Strong mystics know the stone song of Earthblood. Good hunters in mountains. No, that's good any other place. A few others stalk with Woundkin, chases clouds and gloom of dawn, Katavana. Only few left. Well, okay, I'll be going then. She snorts and nods. There was like 3 other people here. These 2, and then there was someone else over here. Well, let's talk to this Tycho. Fatebinder, she bows deeply. Welcome to the Wounds Farm, the only source of food within the old walls. Bet you never imagined anything like this down here, did you? Well, not really, no. You look like you have got questions in need of answers. So, you run this farm? That I do. Have since shortly after we arrived here. I may have been a mercenary up top, but down here I have developed into quite the farmhand. She chuckles. I turn the soil, hole up fertilizer, even sing to the plants. I have near grown to love this farm like it's my own child. Except unlike a child, the farm feeds me. So this farm feeds the whole community? Near enough. Qunet gathers some stuff from topside on occasion, but most people get their food from here. We got a whole host of vegetables, and the mushrooms down here turned out to be tastier than anything grown in shit has any right to be. Got pigs too, for the occasional feast day. Well, that's okay. Well, that sounds rather good. I keep everything orderly and efficient. On slip up, and we're talking months on tight rations at best. These crops can be real particular about the kind of water they like. Give them too much, too little, the wrong kind, and next thing you know, they are limp and brown. Is it normal for plants to be so picky about their water? Well, every plant is different, but the water situation down here is real touchy. Jaspos's filters work for the topside plants, since it's more or less what they are used to. Those stone jugs of his get rid of whatever makes people sick while keeping in the nutrients my veggies need. Okay, what about Wagstaff's water? Give that water to the mushrooms, though, and they stop glowing. Then they shrivel up, no good for anything. No idea why. I figure the topside nutrients kill them. Wagstaff's water is about as pure as it gets, though, and the mushrooms take to it just fine. Well, there we go. So Wagstaff and Jaspos make different types of clean water. Humans can drink them both, but the plants are more picky. Okay, I'll talk to you later, I guess. And here is Kletos. Looks like a guard. Seeing you approaching, he straightens up to seem a little taller. Wasn't expecting to see a Fatebinder down here. Name's Kletos, protector of the farm. He announces it like a title. You may have heard of me. Well, I may have, but if I have, I forgot your name. Lantry skims through a few pages of notes. Not at all. So, you need me for something? Despite his armor, you can tell that he flexes his muscles. Eyes roaming him appreciatively, Ebb leans forward. I can think of some uses for him if you are at a loss. Are you flirting with this guy, Ebb? Well, anyway. My life is service, he winks. Oh god. Okay, so tell me about yourself, Kletos, protector of the farm. Yeah, sure, go ahead. Tell us about yourself. Sunder born and raised. Didn't have much growing up and the sea life wasn't for me, so I took up the blade. Been a warrior ever since. Ran with the House of Broken Regents before we ended up here. What is the House of Broken Regents? Surprised you haven't heard of us. We are the best bloody mercenary company out of the free cities. And don't let those motherless free-blade marauders tell you different. Well, actually, I haven't heard of a free-blade marauders either. The only mercenary group that I know by name is the Bronze Brotherhood. We are the only crew to have bested those stalwart bastards. Not that they would ever admit it, as our expression briefly mars his features. It's a matter of Sunder pride. The city fought a bloody war for independence, and the terms of the treaty gave Sunder its independence from Stalwart in return for the public declaration that Stalwart did not lose. So much as neither side won, and that's why I and another children of Sunder smirk a little at the name Unbroken. So, how do you protect the farm? With the peace woman, I guess. It ain't obvious. I'm a fighter. A bloody good one, too. It's almost a shame to have me up here on the farm, so far from the Howling Bane. Want me to ask Tycho to reassign you? Why would we want to do that? If the Bane are the threat, what do you do here? Yeah. Tycho has me looking after the mushrooms. She keeps a close eye on everything around here. Bit too close if you ask me, and she's quick to remind me when I cock something up. Used the wrong water on the mushrooms once, and she up and decked me. You mean she punched you in the face or something? Obviously I would have blocked it. He chops the air with an open palm. Or dodge it. He jukes illustratively to the left. If I had thought anything like that was coming. He clears his throat. Anyway, had a black eye for weeks. Oh yeah, so she did punch you in the face. Or in the eye. Not doing that again. No how, no way. Well, I must be going. He watches you go. Okay, here are the piggies. Shame that you can't have pet animals in this game, like in Pillars of Eternity, and in the upcoming sequel. There was one more person here. Lunet. Howdy, Fatebinder. To be honest, I didn't expect a courtly type like you to show up in this pisshole. Would have thought you had better things to do than check up on a few wilting greens growing in beast shit. Well, someone doesn't sound like she likes it here. What can I do for you? Or what can I do you for? Okay. So how did you end up in the wound? I came in, 2 years back, with the Free Plate Marauders, been in the wound ever since. So you were with them. Who or what is a Free Plate Marauder? Nothing but the finest of the many fine mercenary groups out of the Free Cities. There's the Free Plates, the House of Broken Regions, a few others. And the Bronze Brotherhood are out of the Free Cities. The Brotherhood? Those fucking fucks can go fuck themselves. Especially that Ratterman, whatever his fucking name is. Ratterman, that was his name. What a huge cock, and crazy as a beastwoman raised on bad shit. One of these days he'll lose his head to one of his own people. You mark my fucking words. Yeah, I believe you. Considering that I have played this game before, and I know what Ratterman is up to. So, anyway, what do you do around the farm? Well, used to have patrol out in the ruins, keeping the entry free of any unwanted visitors with Hillstrider and her crew. Hillstrider, that's a new one. About a year ago, though, my damn fool husband didn't pull out in time, and the wound found itself another mouth to feed. Course, the worthless bastard went and got himself torn to pieces fighting Bane. So I'm up here standing tending crops and letting my sword arm go to waste so the kid doesn't grow up an orphan. She signs. Don't get me wrong, he's a good kid for a babe. I'm just damn glad he's out of me. Well, yeah, I'm sure. Tycho's got me on vegetable duty, which suits me just fine. Don't know if it's some post-pregnancy bullshit or something, but those creepy glowing mushrooms make me want to lose my lunch and dinner. She glances towards Tycho. She's been hovering more than usual as of late, like she thinks I'm slacking off. Well, okay, farewell. Well, she was an interesting person. But yeah, okay, so we haven't found the whatever it was we had to actually find. Let's look at the quests here real quick. Find the Bastard's Wound Farm Chronicle. Mel said the first chronicle, so it was a chronicle that we had to find, is hidden in the Bastard's Wound Farm area. Search the farm with Lantry present to find it. Okay, where haven't we been yet? This is not a big area or anything, so finding it should not be hard. Okay, let's start from here. Maybe it's somewhere here. Chronicle of the Sages. Oh, there we go. This chronicle was hidden here by Sage Lexeme. Take it. Ah, the old concealed text in a pile of pig shit trick. Classic. As Lantry approaches the corner of the pen, a pile of hay and animal droppings vanishes, replaced by a stash of scrolls. Now there's a subject close to my heart. Histories of the School of Ink and Quill. Who doesn't love a little auto-chronicle? Roll calls, minutes, graduation announcements, publication dates, and leathers. Oh my. I doubt Sages Koran and Ostrek had any idea their correspondences would be immortalized for the records. Not the most exciting bit of history, but I can see why Mel and Lexeme would want the words of colleges close at hand. Lantry thumbs through the tome, chuckling with a nostalgic smile at each turn of the page. I take it this brings back memories. Any worthwhile spell text, or is this just a pile of sage blather? All this effort to fight ledgers and diagrams. All this effort to hide lectures and diagrams. Well, come on now. The central challenge of the Chronicle is that we don't always know what's important for the record until the chance to write it down has passed. The Chronicle aims to record all things large and small. Once we begin to pick and choose what is remembered, well, what then becomes the point of this all? Do those notes include the parts where you conspire to steal our magic? A slight cough escapes Lantry's lip, but he offers no reply aside from a turn in pages. Well, do they? Very silently. That seems more like sage pillow talk than something they would write down. Well, do they? Well, of course they would. Lantry pauses, his eyes stopping to read the text before him. Nope, they don't. This is about trapping and... It should say N and not just A, I think. So this is about a trapping an old dolt from the school of Wild Wrath. An enemy like the Tidecasters. You fight without a written record. I think I'm flattered. Come closer so I can show you my appreciation. Oh my. Nice try, old hack. Lantry never makes the same mistake 8 times. Well, that's good to hear. I know it's also worthless in hindsight, but it is a record of our school, whatever that's worth. I can obsess about these later. We have other things to do, right? Lantry closes the text and looks up at you with a smile. We can pause. I look around while you have a read. I'm suspicious of everything we find in this place. Take a closer look. So you knew Kairos was coming. How many years in the making is this school tradition of stashing text throughout the tiers? Let's see. I'm suspicious of everything we find in this place. Take a closer look. Yeah, do that. How can I say no to that order? With a smug grin, the old sage dives into the texts. Several minutes pass as Lantry pores over the pages. Strange, all these names of dead people. Good riddance to some. Others, our loss. Kairos' loss. Anything seem incorrect? Anyone you knew very well? Let him keep reading. Pick up some of the volumes and peruse. Not sure what peruse means. I guess that we would just read it ourselves. Let's just let him keep reading. While this all holds personal, sentimental value, I doubt you would find any of this worth the read. Okay. Okay. Can't pick this. Anything seem incorrect? Sage Ostrek's grammar is appalling, but no, not really. Sorry, no spells or great recipes for crappa. Just lectures, letters, and other sentimental tertitus. Okay. Anyone you know very well? Well, I think that asking this is quite pointless. Of course there's people he knows very well. He even mentioned one. Pick one of the volumes and peruse. In this record, Lantry was correct. Countless sheaves of parchment, all of it social correspondences and academic texts of blood in boring detail. Look for writing out of place. Yeah, I don't think that my character cares to read this for too long, so hold on to it, let's get going. I think my nostalgia has been overtaxed for the time being. Let's get moving. I need to think on this a bit. Lantry closes the tome, stashing the old book in one of his satchels. Find the remaining chronicles, and we don't know where the rest of the chronicles are. So we just have to keep looking and keep our eyes open. And keep Lantry near us. Yeah, so let's go back down. Okay, So let's keep looking for them, because I don't know what else to do, really. But actually, let's take a look at our quests. So, find the remaining chronicles. You found the chronicle hidden in the Bastard's Wound farm. Once you have gained access to the lower sections of the Bastard's Wound, all the walls, continue your search for the chronicles. Aha, so we can't look for... So I guess that we can't find more from this area, from the settlement. That's how I am understanding that. But what other quests do we have? Making a stand, return to Sentinel stand. Yeah, we'll do that later. Evidence against Graven Ass. Oh yeah, this is the long-term quest. The one who got away. Speak with Jaspos. Jaspos has asked you to help with him with something. Let him know if you decide to help. Okay. I don't know what this is about though. Give the stones to Hieronymus. You have collected both stones of elucidation from the old walls. Deliver them to Hieronymus at the old walls breach. Oh yeah, that guy. Okay, we have to do that at some point. Seeds of power. Claim the remaining spires in the tiers. Ah, okay. This is about the spires. Okay, and we have got 2 out of 5. Okay, I guess we'll go talk to Jaspos. And tell him that, yeah, we can help you, whatever. Ah, Fatebinder, you have returned. Was there something else you needed? You mentioned needing assistance with something. We don't have the luxury of trading with the top side. It could attract the wrong kinds of attention. Instead, we craft what we need. In my case, I can make a wide variety of tools, but I can't make everything. When we were building the forges of Lethian's Crossing, I had access to some of the finest chisels, tappers, and abrasives. I carried only my travel kit with me when I found myself here in the wound. I've been able to craft a few replacements, but to my chagrin, I haven't recaptured the craftsmanship. The knapping tools needed are rather specialized, and I lose sleep knowing I can't replace anything I break. Since I've been missing, I imagine my tools were appropriated by my colleges in Lethian's Crossing. Lohara will no doubt know of their whereabouts. With my old tools, I could really stay on top of the work that's needed to keep this place running. Well, fine, I will speak with Lohara. I'm sure this will be a simple matter for you, Fatebinder. Thank you for your assistance. Safe journeys. Talk to Forge-Bound in Lethian's Crossing. Oh, so we have to travel all the way there. Let's go talk to Wagstaff also real quick. And that's done as well. Okay. So let's go to Wagstaff real quick, just to hear if he has any quests for us. So, Wagstaff, got anything for me? The old man regards you as you approach, Fatebinder. What else do you want of me? What do you do here as one of the leaders? Tell me about the Tidecasters. How do you purify the water? What should I do about Jaspos? Or what should I know about Jaspos, not do? Yeah, okay, there's nothing new here. Good. There was also this blue Scarlet Fury here somewhere. Ah, there she is. You got any quests for me? Incipit moniker. Fatebinder. Always a delight. Incipit moniker nods cordially. Nothing here. Nothing new here. Okay. Okay. And we can't use this. And we can't use this teleporter to go deeper into the old walls, can we? Nope. Okay. Well, I guess the only thing we can do now is go all the way back to the Lethian's Crossing and find Jaspos's tools, whatever they were. So, to the Lethian's Crossing we go. But any random encounters? Nope. Okay. Received a missive from Fate-bound Jaspos. Oh, okay. Well, let's read that real quick. So, salutations, Brihana. It is difficult to separate a fact from superstition when it comes to edicts, as it seems only Kairos knows how it all works. The rest of us are left to live in fear and ponder it all. Kairos' edicts are sort of magic above and beyond even the Archons. I dare say the edicts are stronger than Kairos, as there is no evidence Kairos can willingly stop an edict once set into motion, which in part why Kairos' edicts seem to have an until or unless clause in their wording. I know the edict, as powerful as it is, requires a human voice to complete the casting. Thus the Overlord has people like you proclaim edicts cast far from the Imperial throne. The magic is Kairos' magic, but the human voice is the final carrier or trigger to complete the magic phenomenon. And here's what's most fascinating. At least as far as you are concerned, there have been dozens of mortal agents who have been made to proclaim edicts. 2/3 of them die within a decade, and many gave reports of lingering mystic scars from the ordeal. And there have also been a handful to resolve or break an edict. These until and unless clauses get fulfilled from time to time, and we see a similar pattern in history. Those who resolve an edict often live short lives, and many speak of arcane side effects of the shattered edicts. Here's where you are unique. To the best of my fact-finding, you are the first to proclaim and break the exact same edicts. Whatever mystical power is involved in the creation and destruction of such magics, you are the first to stand at the terminus of both. Now that I know the spires can be awoken, it makes sense that if anything can or would wake them from slumber, a shattered edict seems the likely culprit. And in case you don't remember what edicts are, there you go. Kairos has other edicts in place throughout the tiers. If you truly wish to learn more, perhaps you should take it upon yourself to shatter those edicts. After all, if Kairos did not wish for the edicts to be broken, why indulge a termination clause? Myothis. Okie dokie. Oh, that's a bit weird that the whole text becomes orange there. Solicit her advice. Dear Myotis, I appreciate the information. Thank you for sharing. Knowing what you know of my situation, what would you do, Brihana? Well, this was the only option, I think. Yeah, so let's send that. Okay, and now here. I think I should sell some crap away. And I still need to find that live sigil. Good day, my fine friend. Could I interest you in all manner of provisions? There's no telling what may befall you on your travels. Yeah, sure. I know we'll find something you need. We'll see about that. Okay, so God, I have lots of stuff here. I really should. I really should see if these are any good on like verse or someone. Let's see. But is there anything that I absolutely don't need? This might be good on verse. Yeah, I think verse got a mastercraft, or was it masterwork? Masterwork bow. So I don't think she's gonna need this. I'm gonna hold on to that still. Do I have anything here? Any crap that I don't want? No. Oh, I still got this. Sigil of Lightning. I'm gonna hold on to the Sigil of Lightning here. Or this Mind Static Torch. Yeah, I don't think I have really anything that I want to sell. Well, what do you have? Lesser Sigil of Strength. We already know that. Okay, well, let's just trade that away. And leave. Basila, what did you have? Good day to you. May I interest you in all manner of provisions? Who knows what'll you run into outside of Lethian's crossing. Yeah, show me what you have for sale. I'm sure we can find something you need. Yeah, that's what they all say. I don't really need anything from you, sorry. Tychus. Welcome, welcome. The merchant motions you over. What can I get for you today? Be sure to stock up before you leave. There's plenty of wild between here and the bastard city. Well, show me what you got to sell. Yeah, that's what they all say. Relentless, damn, that's expensive. Nah, you don't have anything that I'm interested in either. What about... weren't you a merchant? Where's the merchant guy who... Oh yeah, it's this one. Hachiant Bronze. Didn't see his name there for a moment. Oh, Fateminder, come to stock up, I see. Hachiant Bronze at your service. He bows. What can I do for you? I would like to see your stuff. Doesn't seem like you have anything that I really want either. Mantle of Mirrors. Reflect plus 20% of incoming hostile spells back to their casters. Well, that sounds very nice. Ring counters seal. Plus 10% will defense. Plus 10 subterfuge. Okay, his Sigil of Bleeding. Illusion. Rooting. I kinda want this, but to whom should I give this to? Let's see. We have this. Parry. Yeah, this is for Ebb only. This is very good. Minus 50% recovery time while has wounds. Okay. Immunity to poisoned. Control emotions. Well, while this is good, I think I don't think that I really need it. Plus 10 armor shock stolen. Yeah. Maybe I could give it to Barrick, or maybe even Verse. But I can always come back for it later. Where the hell can I buy Sigil of Life? What about you, Helena? Fine day, my friend. Might I interest you in my wares? I have all manner of goods I know you need. Well, we'll see about that. Heavy leather armor. Shame that I don't have Verse with me right now. Warrior's Girdle. Plus 10 athletics. Okay. Nimble. Plus 10 ranged accuracy. This would be very good on Verse if I made her more specialized with bows. But yeah, nothing too interesting. Well, enough shopping. Actually, what's my situation with the campus supplies? Yeah, I'm full on them. Okay, because I remember that there's a campus supply here. I was just wondering. Okay, where is Lohara? Actually, Biodus, what do you have? Welcome, friend. Yeah, let me just show me your goods. Iron Javelin. Plus 10 more parry. Maybe I should sell this away. And get more parry. that wouldn't be such a terrible idea, I think. You know what, let's buy that. And, where is it? Ah, here. Now we got even more parrying. And we are even tankier. Okay, so I think Lohara is inside here. Okay, Lohara, you are here. You have returned. Lohara turns to face you, her body covered head to toe in charred hues, chest rising and falling under the strain of labored breathing. There is always more demand for iron than there is time in the day. She removes a set of heavy canvas gloves and balls her fists, the joints of her fingers crackling in unison. How may I be of assistance? I'm looking for some knapping tools on behalf of Jaspos. Oh yeah, that. So I'm looking for some knapping tools on behalf of Jaspos. Jaspos? None of us have heard from him in some time. He certainly did his part to create the forge here, but there's little else for a napper to do after the foundation. I'm quite certain he was ordered to return home. She grabs an iron ingot and holds it aloft. This, on the other hand, is the vanguard of our work. I think there's a typo there. Is the vanguard of our work. Or my work, I don't know. My tour of duty ends only when there are no more enemies for my iron to kill. So where did Jaspos end up? He's in a remote settlement in the mountains bordering the north, claims to be one of its founders. Okay, so we're not exactly telling her that it's beneath the old walls or anywhere near it. He's living in a sort of private fiefdom in the old walls, covered in wood beasts and tearsmen. Yeah, I don't think I should really say this. He's nursing a leg injury in a village south of the Gates of Judgment. He's dead. He asked this task of me before passing, and I'm bound by duty and honor to handle things. Or should I say that I prefer not to say? That would kind of make me sound suspicious, wouldn't it? Maybe we should just say this, but we're not telling her too much. He's in a remote settlement in the mountains bordering the north, claims to be one of its founders. She scratches her chin, smearing soot across them in short streaks. Now that's odd. Kairos gives us leeway in our duties, but a several years' absence would be frowned upon. That settlement would have to be producing something valuable to excuse his detour. At least I hope so, for his sake. A smile creeps across her face and she offers a half-hearted shrug. But he's not my ward, and not my concern. Still, it's good to know that he's alive. What did you know of Jaspos? Does Jaspos have any associates still around? Did the stone knappers leave behind any of their tools? If so, where might I find them? So what did you know of Jaspos? Only the superficials, sadly. He worked in stone. I'm more keen on metal, so we rarely compared notes. I knew he was arrogant, confident beyond his years and talent. Not to say he was inept, far from it, but a few years of flaking chess does not make one Kairos' gift to the Forge-Bound. Does Jaspos have any associates still around? I don't really care to ask about that. Did the stone knappers leave behind any of their tools? I have no idea what inventory the stonesmiths kept with them. All of our stoneworkers left some time ago. A few of them meant to return north by ocean travel, which meant first travel into the southern coastline. I would imagine they are probably gone by now, but if you need those tools, I can't imagine they had room on the galley to take all their sledgehammers. If I were you, I would ask around for Cassandra, or since she is likely on a boat home right now, see if some local was drafted to attend to her or haul her stuff. Maybe they inherited some of her excess belongings she couldn't take on the boat. South Haven is now unlocked on the world map. Aside from that, I suppose in the abstract, I could have someone cast a few chisels and hammers, but if you're looking for tools made by and for the stone experts, I think South Haven is your best bet, short of slugging it back to Fort Resolution. So, yeah, let's just keep going. Okay, so to the South Haven we go. Okay, so to the South Haven we go. There's no other merchants or anything though. I don't think so. Still not sure who Melita is. I don't think she was anyone important in my first playthrough or anything. Well, whatever. So where is South Haven? Ah, all the way there. Okay. Received a missive from Fate-Bound Jaspos. Yeah, I was actually expecting that. Tune on Favor 1. Dear Brihanna, based on what you have told me, it seems a stretch to believe these events are mere coincidence or circumstance. Kairos' Edict of Execution was a setup for someone to claim Ascension Hall. To think that Kairos did not know what would happen is a massive underestimation of the Overlord's long view. You have been thrust into the arena of the mighty. Your options are retreat into obscurity, suicide, or rise into the occasion. I suggest the third option. If I were you, I would use my connection to the spires to see if they will all awaken to my presence. Every Tearsman sees the spires in the horizon. If they know you are the master of the spires, they will see you each time they look to the sunrise or sunset. Foster a reputation for power. Make others fear you. This is what I have seen Kairos and every living Archon do for as long as I have lived, and there's reasons for this. There's the practical case that power and reputation insulate you from threats, but there's the lesser known element that I can't prove, but I know in my heart to be true. The fear and love of others will strengthen your magic. Well, that's very interesting. This last part I have inferred from my discussions with Bleeding Mark. In the few times he has spoken of his gruesome work of slaying those who might rise to threaten the Overlord, he has hinted that it's easier to kill the rogue's elements before they become famed and fearsome. In my lifetime, I saw Craven Ash change from an unknown militiaman to a fearsome general, and I can assure you, he did not have the power to shield his warriors in those days when he was without title or reputation. The Archons will never, ever discuss the origin of their power, because such knowledge might be used against them, but I have known all the Archons to be obsessed with the presentation of power. Your connection to the spires will all but guarantee the Archons will want to control and destroy you. It's a question of when, not if. Start thinking and acting like an Archon. As far as I'm concerned, you are an Archon, the Archon of the spires. You are quick to place labels on powers we easily spot, and history is replete with Archons of fire and ice. It is foolish to think that there must be a word for a thing before an Archon can control it. Other way around, the Archons show us what is possible, and we must step to their dance. Miotes. Now this was very interesting read. Ask about Kairos' wrath. Thank you for wading in all of this. To ask perhaps too obvious a question, if I'm such an anomaly, such a threat, why hasn't the Overlord dealt with me right away? An edict or just a simple request to play the mark would be no small threat. Neither seems to have happened just yet. What is your take on this? Why hasn't Overlord dealt with me, Brihanna? Or inquire about Blade Mark's killings? Your wisdom on the matter is greatly appreciated. You made mention of Blade Mark and his killings. During my training, Fatebinder Kallio hinted that much of Blade Mark's work involves killing of threats before they blossom into genuine problems. So it's curious to hear you second that fact. So let's say, for the sake of argument, I am some Archon. Is it just a matter of time until Blade Mark is sent to kill me? Should I be making grand displays of loyalty to the court to assuage his suspicions? Brihanna. Ask about the Archons and how they have risen to power. I appreciate the insight and am honored by your vote of confidence. Your missive made mention of Craven Ash, and how you have known of him since before he wrote the title Archon of War. Can you tell me more of what you observed of his rise to power? If I am indeed an Archon, it's safe to say I wasn't born knowing what I can or can't do, and it stands to reason I might learn something from the stories of the other Archons. Berhana. Yeah, I think I like this one the best, so let's send this. Okay. Oh, the Fatebinder. Hello, welcome to South Haven. Septeron. A middle-aged man nods to you, clutching a small apple crate in one arm. A well-worn scrap of parchment pokes out of his balled fist. Carcoil tally marks visible on its exposed surface. Well met, traveler. Sorry I was counting these out for Hermont and didn't see you coming. Welcome to South Haven. So, these are Lethian's Cross people, okay. You're the Fatebinder, aren't you? The one that claimed the mountain spire. It's not every day we have such an esteemed visitor. As he awkwardly bows, several apples falls out of the crate and bounce out of his hands, rolling past your feet. Sorry. He sets the container down. Is there something I can do for you? What do you do here? I'm familiar with South Haven. Tell me about it. Yeah, this is my first time visiting this place. This is Bastard's Wound content after all. I'm not sure what's really all that worthy of note. He scratches his chin, inadvertently, smudging it with carcoil. We have got the river and the sea nearby and live by what they bring us, on the good seasons. Trade for what we don't have when our luck dries up. If you are bored already, good. I think Kairos' forces were bored too and seemed to ignore us. Some recruiters from the Chorus came in years past and rounded up some folks who were out in the fields. I think they took Ptolet's boy. Ptolet, what a name. I think they took Ptolet's boy and also the Korba twins, but that was the worst of it. I have heard plenty of stories from elsewhere in the tiers. 3 folks gone. While a tragedy, it's nothing compared to the suffering seen elsewhere. We are fortunate, no denying that. Well, that's good to know. Good for you. So, how did this village end up staffed by Forge-Bound? Oh, their arrival was the biggest change we have experienced in a long time. It's been maybe 2 years. This crowded entourage came to town and we all thought we were being invaded, but nope. Just a bunch of craftsmen booking passage out of the port south of here. When they arrived, they were all ill with fever and needed to rest. Since old Lioness knocked off, we let the Forge-Bound use her house. Okay. We all assumed it would be temporary, but either the ship they meant to board sank or they had a change of plans. A span later, the Forge-Bound were still here and making themselves at home. Didn't hurt that the villagers here were fascinated by the crafting magics. The youngsters in the village all lined up for lessons and, Kairos be praised, they saw it fit to tutor some of them. Well, that sounds very nice. They have been awful helpful. Spears and arrowheads for our hunters, plows for the fields, fish hooks for the rivers, even a heart or two for those cold nights. They also help keep us safe and stand watch over the town. If I were younger, I would ask them to trade me. You can find the Forge-Bound just on the roof of the building behind me. Cassandra keeps her apprentices working late, but rarely stays up with them at this hour. She's up before first light after all. Okay. What do you know about Cassandra? She's incredible. She's no spring chick, but she can split a boulder better than any man in the village. You can tell her apprentices respect her just by the way they look at her. Everyone in the village feels the same way. If she speaks up, we take notice. She is intimidating though. I wanted to give her a suggestion about some stone arrowheads she fashioned, but she looked really angry when I approached her. She was yelling at one of her students and another was on fire or something, so my timing was poor. There's lots I would love to learn from her, but I'm too old to be taken seriously as a candidate. Okay. Well, fine. What do you do here? Me? Oh, I'm not anyone important, Fatebinder. I never took to a particular trade and I'm not a man of letters. I just help out where I can. He gestures towards the crates behind him. I count the produce for Hermod. He lets me take a few fruits when I'm done. His words are interrupted by a rhythmic clanging of hammers against metal. He turns to look at its source atop a nearby roof, exposing a gap-toothed grin as he speaks. And of course the Forge-Bound always need fresh water, so I'll pump it for them from time to time. I'm sure Cassandra appreciates that. Well, okay, let's wait until the morning. I need a place to stay until morning. Of course, Fatebinder. Philia lets me stay in her son's old room. There's a cot there you can use. And it's morning. You don't mind if I take some of those? I was expecting some fruit here, but whatever. And Cassandra is over there, I take it. Is it that one? Nicodemus, okay. And an apprentice. Okay, I can't see her yet, but let's find whatever loot we can get. Oh damn, iron guitar, but it doesn't look that interesting. Finding some merchant would be nice too. Joaquin. Just some settlers. Some iron potion or whatever it was called. Nice for our tank. Erasmus. Some iron and bronze. Nice. Okay, so much for that. And does it look like we can actually enter any of these houses? Okay, Erasmus, are you a merchant? A young man squints at the bottles in front of him. He picks them up, then shakes them and sets them down, dissatisfied after every examination. Was it fennel pollen or rhubarb root? He catches sight of you and stops his search. Hello, traveler. Something I can do for you? What are you looking for? Yeah, what are you looking for? My wife took fever recently, burned in temples and an awful rash. She's a tough one, but I wanted to get her some medicine. I know that boiled silverthorn works well, but that's a few rings too many for me. There must be an alternative. Give rings for silverthorn. Here, take these. Hopefully they'll help your wife. Elder bark is what you want. Almost as potent as silverthorn, but a lot more plentiful. You can probably buy it for a song. Yeah, let's do that. We don't do charity. Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. I'm quite worried about my wife, and these herbs will really help. Is there anything I can help you with? It's the least I can do. Not really, no. You're not a merchant by the looks of things. Okay. Okay, who is this Joaquin? You see a tall figure with a patchwork sash of animal pelts slung across her shoulder. The skin of her sunburned face melts with a pair of naturally flushed, freckled cheeks. She speaks energetically to two nearby villagers, animated in her depiction of a recent hunt. I had to crawl real low through the brush. Those critters have eyes like eagles, but are too deaf to hear their own farts. I got close enough to see its nose wriggling in the air. They can actually feel you coming that way, you know. But it was too late. One swift thrust later it turned into dinner. So she's a hunter, huh? She hears you approaching and spins around, and spear held out playfully. Aha! Who goes there? Her laugh is hearty, but ends abruptly as she takes note of your appearance. Apologies, Fatebinder. I had no idea you were visiting us. Forgive the jest. I've been burdened with an overabundance of energy since childhood. One way or another, it comes out. She offers a purposefully awkward curtsy. What can I do for you? What do you think of Cassandra? She's a tough nut to crack. She's been pounding steel for so long that she's forgotten how to hang up the hammer and enjoy other pursuits. I first got to know her after we got to talking about hunting implements. I think she saw something in my enthusiasm for it all, and we have steadily become pals. She's a much different person after she unwinds. Not that there's anything wrong with having a tough exterior. She's a master of napping, after all. You have got to maintain appearances. With a toothy grin, Joaquin offers a friendly wink as you approach. Fine day out, Fatebinder. Anything you need? Cassandra's grave-light tools seem unique. Any chance he would part with them? But we haven't seen her tools, yet alone Cassandra herself. Nah, let's just leave. That wasn't. She wasn't. She didn't
Can't
have.
do that.
She didn't have anything too interesting to say. There's some loot over here, though. Let's pick that up. Okay, Cassandra, where are you? Ah, there you are. Cassandra, Master of Knapping. A small group of Forge-Bound stand in conference around an older, grey-haired woman. Blue tattooed streaks trail down from her hairline, coming to rest upon a pair of eyebrows permanently fixed in a severe expression. She grabs a hunk of jasper and strikes it several times with a sharp piece of obsidian. The motion should feel rhythmic as you work the stone, as mundane as breath. Her sinewy biceps contract to control the force from each impact, keeping the jasper remarkably still. Listen to your senses. If the shape in your mind doesn't feel inevitable, then you are wasting your strength and my time. Noticing your approach, she halts her demonstration and waves off her apprentices. We'll continue this later. Fatebinder. I am Cassandra, Master of Knapping. The Forge-Bound present are in my charge. She grants you a perfunctory nod. I know your time is limited, and South Haven too remote for this meeting to be a chance. What is it that I can do for you? How did you end up here in South Haven? Do you know a man named Capteron? Oh yeah, he was the guy over here. You have hair? I thought all Forge-Bound shaved their heads. So, how did you end up here in South Haven? As Master of Knapping, it's my duty to build the forges that keep the others occupied. Bronze and iron are the guild's trademark, but stone's the foundation. When Kar's conquest began, my kin followed the armies into the tiers, and I led the efforts to build up Lethian's crossing. With our task at the crossing complete, there was naught to do after but return home. I barely made the long march south, so I decided to head towards the closest port, just near here, and planned to catch a boat back home. But the journey here was difficult. Brotherhood bandits ambushed us on the road. Her eyes narrow at the memory, and she rubs the left side of her abdomen. So the Brotherhood attacked you, huh? They fancied our forge implements and thought them fair payment for use of the road. I refused, and we brained them with our hammers. Damn. She cracks her neck with a quick tilt of her head. I cracked a rib or three, and some others in the party were wounded. So resting in South Haven seemed wise. The locals were overly accommodating, and I started wondering if I would even live through the sea voyage home. So I decided to set up a shop and teach here. Our temporary stay became rather permanent. Fatebinder, is there something else you need? Do you know a man named Capteron, the one over here? Capteron? Oh, for fuck's sake! She rolls her eyes in a sudden loss of composure. A lovesick cop if I've ever seen one. He's helpful with hauling and odd jobs, but enough with his endless pinning. Not that he's ever experienced love, as best as I can tell. He's well past fathering age, but probably couldn't find a vagina in a brothel. Damn. He mostly keeps his affections to himself, thankfully. He's harmless and always compliant if you yell loudly enough. Do you fancy spineless men? Have at him. Yeah, no, not really. You can keep him. You have hair? I thought all Forge-Bound shaved their heads. She permits a smirk for the briefest of moments. I have shaved my head for nearly every day of my life. I think I have earned a reprieve. She lightly smacks the back of an apprentice's head as he kneels to work. These idiots don't get that luxury. We have these traditions for a reason. If you faded into a forge fire all day, you would know better than to grow a mop of wigs out of your head. Yeah, indeed, that's true. I thought Jaspos was Master of Knapping. Well, there can be multiple masters, I would say. Well, anyway, so let's ask this. I thought Jaspos was Master of Knapping. Jaspos? I thought officers of the court would be better informed, Fatebinder. There can be only one Master of Knapping at a time. I'm not a corpse yet, despite the wishes of my apprentices, so the title remains with me. So what rank does Jaspos hold if he's not a master? Why are we even talking about Jaspos? The only title he is fit to wear is Master of Arrogance. He was a dutiful enough student, but I have heard the boasts he has made to my apprentices in private. He learned quickly, I'll give him that, but he was a long way off from attaining any kind of mastery. So he's... Well, I did notice that he was very proud and confident, and very proud of his work, but to go as far as to claim to be a master of Knapping... Okay. It takes at least a decade of consistently impressive work before the guild would allow for the title of master to be bandied about. If I drop dead tomorrow, there are a dozen others more qualified to inherit my title. She lets out a long sigh, her eyes narrowing as her upper lip twitches. What gave you this notion that Jaspos is the master of Knapping? Jaspos has claimed that title for himself. It's a detail that came up as part of an investigation of mine. I can say nothing more on the matter. Just a mistake claim made by a merchant at the crossing. My details are clearly not in order. Well, let's just tell her the truth. Jaspos has claimed that title for himself. Motherfucker. She takes a hammer and smashes it against a nearby wall, sending fragments of it flying. The gall of that man. I would cave his head in as an example were he here. She strikes the wall again, for good measure. I have chisels older than him. He is far, far too young for such a rank. He of course had potential. I wouldn't instruct anyone who doesn't, but he seeks approval in people, rather than in his own craft. Hardly a master's mindset. The guild will act on this. Making a false claim like that is a serious offense to our ways. As soon as I can, I'll pen a missive to my superiors. His arrogance will be disciplined. Okay, well, good luck finding him. So I'm here to retrieve Jaspos' Knapping tools. Jaspos' tools? What sort of nonsense is this? He has a rather elaborate tool set that was left at the crossing, correct? I'm here to collect it. I know he had a very exclusive set of tools. I'm looking to gather them. What's the difference of these two? I know he had a very exquisite set of tools. I'm looking to gather them. He has a rather elaborate tool set that was left at the crossing, correct? I'm here to collect it. Well, I don't think it really matters too much which one I pick. Let's just go with the first one. What makes you think? Her eyes widen in recognition. Oh, I get it. She grits her teeth and scowls. I have a suspicion we are both being used. The tools in question are mine, given to me by Forge Master Xenia years ago in honor of my semi-sentinel... What the heck is this word? Semi-centennial with the guild. Okay. Excuse me. After we left Lethian's crossing, I noticed the set was incomplete. Several key hammers and chisels, one of my best loops, all missing. At the time I assumed the fault lay with me. The way to South Haven wasn't without its troubles, and I assumed I misplaced things during the shuffle. I would never have guessed that Jaspos would steal them from me, from his own master. Yeah, what gall! How dare he? If my knees were still good for sprinting, I would chase down that ungrateful rake and pulverize his skeleton one bone at a time. Her rage seems to vanish with a shrug and a smile. And I suppose making tools is what I do best. Not like I can't replace what was lost, but those tools were a gift, and not even I can fashion sentimentality out of rock. I'm not sure how exactly I can help you with this situation, Fatebinder. What makes these tools so special? Well, they were a gift. I need these tools. I misunderstood the situation. The tools should remain with you. Why is this a lie? I misunderstood the situation. The tools should remain with you. I don't know what this is a lie, though. Speak sincerely. I misunderstood the situation. The tools are rightfully yours. Okay. If you wish to lose your life over a set of billets and hammerstones, so be it. An attack. I'm not gonna do that. Well, what makes these tools so special? Xenia fashioned them as a part of a series of works inspired by some pre-war study into the Tidecasters and their ways. She took it upon herself to spend a year working only with the crystals and metals the casters used in their designs. My tools were some of her best pieces that came from that year of experimentation. I try not to make a big deal about having tools inspired by Tearsman magic, but they are the finest I have used. I guess the idea is that some of the Moonlight's energy remains trapped in the business end of the tools. All I know is that with them in hand I can work faster and with more precision and strength. In truth, I can do just fine with lesser tools. As much as I adore the set Xenia made for me, nobody can make a handle to fit my hand quite like I do. She picks up a small hammer and drills it in her hand. But if Jaspos thinks he can claim the rest of my tools and pretend to greatness, that ungrateful wretch is dead to me. If my knees were still good for sprinting, oh yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing. Yeah, let's speak sincerely. I misunderstood the situation. The tools are rightfully yours. Thank you, Fatebinder. She visibly relaxes, as do several of her apprentices, who quickly return to their duties. I'm glad we could clear up this misunderstanding, and I'm sorry that one of my own deceived you. As his instructor, I should have spotted the flaw in his scruples. The shame is mine that he was not cleft from our ranks sooner. Okay, we could still attack, but yeah, we are not gonna do that. Guess we'll just leave then. Return to Jaspos. He got lot to answer. Something tells me that Wagstaff is going to be the only remaining leader in the Bastard's Wound in the next episode. Nicodemus. Well, might as well talk to this guy first before we leave. A barrel-chested man surveys the areas with a stern expression, eyeing you nonchalantly as you approach. A large horseshoe mustache traces the top of his mouth before raising down to his chin. When he speaks, the bristles nearly mask his lips. Well met, Fatebinder. What do you need? Who are you? I don't really care. What can you tell me about your leader? Why are the Forge-Bound here? Well, what can you tell me about your leader? Tough, but fair. Cassandra knows that teaching and napping are both acts of reduction. In the case of teaching, one chips away at ignorance. Some don't like her approach. Such fools are not fit for our guild. Okay, fair enough. Well, that's all for now. Doesn't look like he's anyone important. Let's talk to Sapteron some more before we leave. Good day, my lady. Sapteron offers a short bow as you near him. Is there something I can do for you? Nothing new here. Okay. That's all for now. And that was everything, I guess. So let's leave and go back to the Bastard's Wound, and then I think I'm going to end this episode. So all the way to the Bastard's Wound, and to the settlement. Still no random encounters? I'm surprised. Received a message from Fatebinder Meothis. Yep, I was expecting that. Took us 3 days to come here after all. So, Jesus, there's a lot of text here again. I'm starting to lose my voice again. Okay, Brahana. This is a sort of question that can get you killed. Very little is known about how Archons are born or come to power, and my long life has taught me that Kairos and the Archons prefer it this way. If the young and talented remain forever in the dark, the old and mighty can rule without challenge. I heard of Ash. He will always be merely Ash to me, before Kairos renamed him and gave his legion that backhanded title as a rebel, a grimy, illiterate partisan who was winning battles while his countrymen of the Northern Kingdom lost left and right. Ash was always a good leader, but he wasn't born able to mystically reach out and protect his soldiers. The earliest mention of it isn't even until the tail end of the Northern Conquest. And if you read the journals, they don't tell stories of grievous harm warded off by Ash's stern looks. Instead, they talk of his soldiers finding their fears and doubts lifted from lifted from them by Ash's presence. A careful reading suggests the ability to actively protect physical harm came years later, as that bond grew and, more importantly, as his legend grew. That legend part is the key detail. In my understanding, an Archon's power is something of a self-fulfilling prophecy. The widespread perception of an Archon's power is the very thing that strengthens an Archon's power. So in Ash's case, he had some early inkling of a power, the ability to assuage the burdens of his men, and as he took on a mantle of power and became known all around Taratus as the next Archon of War, it soon became the ability to bear the physical burdens of his men, not just their fears and doubts. Thus my advice to you is to act like an Archon. Take power where you can find it. Foster fear, foster love. Never walk through life anonymously, but rather live in the thoughts of your followers and the anxieties of your enemies. Miothis. Okay, this is very interesting stuff. Let's see. This was about... Why hasn't the Overlord told me straight away? So let's say, for the sake of argument, I am some Archon. Is it just a matter of time until Bled and Mark is sent to kill me? Should I be making grand displays of loyalty to the court to assuage his suspicions? Yeah, let's ask this. So let's send that. Okay, so let's go there, and then I'm gonna end this episode here. And in the next episode, we are obviously going to talk to Jaspos again and tell him what we have learned and hear what he has to say for himself. But something tells me that we are forced, well, not necessarily forced, but we are going to fight him most likely, because my character does not like to be lied to like that and be used like that. She doesn't like that one bit. So we are most likely just going to kill Jaspos in the next episode, and then Wagstaff becomes the one and only leader of the Bastard's Wound. That's what's most likely going to happen in the next episode. But hey, we shall see once we talk to Jaspos and see what options we get. But anyway, thank you for watching once again, and see you next time for more Tyranny, Bastard's Wound.